Any questions?
So right now, I would see your line as running like this
Yeah.
and like this.
True. Yeah. Or I just connect them together physically.
Uh-huh. So touching is its own meta line.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would I call? I would call this one the claim.
Yeah.
I would call this affirmative reason. Or just
It is a yes. Reason. And these are counters. Hi, want to play our critical thinking game? Do you have time?
Sure.
Sweet. We have a few claims there if you want to draw from that or bring up anything you want to talk about. You can agree or disagree with any of these. Or answer this and we can come up with a claim based on that question.
Okay.
Which one do you want to do?
Do you have anyone? I like all of them. Me too.
All right. Want to do the no human is illegal one?
Yeah, sure. That works.
Okay. Feel free to stand on the neutral line and we can start there.
So scared. Wait, why are we doing this now? Now it's like.
I'll try to stay neutral and keep my opinion out of it and just ask some fair questions.
Okay, and then we move.
Yes. So yeah, start on the neutral. So do you mind if I record for potentially our YouTube channels?
No.
Okay, you can move up a bit so we can have some room. So the game is like, I'll do 3, 2, 1, go. Keep in mind now where you want to go. And then you'll go to where,
You're gonna play like devil's advocate.
potentially, yeah, I'll try to have you do it first. But then once you go, feel free to move to any point as we play, if you're persuaded, as you give reasons yourself. All right, so let's do no human is illegal. I'll put that on the main board. And this is Dolly. He'll be writing down.
I'm going to play clipboard person.
All right, clipboard person.
He'll be writing down the reasons, and we'll have like an argument map at the end so we can review it.
Okay, I think we're probably gonna be on the same page. That's my guess.
All right. So here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. No human is illegal. Okay. Both on strongly agree. All right. So let's try to come up with. Well, first, are there any words to define in this claim? No human is illegal. What does this claim mean to you? Does any of these words need to be defined? What do you think?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't know. So
It's a pretty straightforward question. I think like I guess people talk about illegal immigration, and like maybe like the immigration part is legal, but them like having a right to live in a place where they feel comfortable
Yeah.
and safe isn't wrong.
Like for me, humanity surpasses
legality.
legality, and then also just like we're all humans beyond like where we live, like in like imaginary boundaries, you know. So like I feel like if we're using like the word human, I feel like calling that illegal is like it's minimizing what humanity is too. But anyway.
So if someone disagreed with this, that might be limiting some people's humanity, is what I'm hearing.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like people who immigrate places want, I don't know, it's their choice, and it's also like oftentimes like when people might immigrate to the U.S., it's because they want a better future, you know, like the American dream.
Yeah.
I think it's like when we have like debates on illegal immigration, you consider that like these people are different than like Americans because you don't see them as like Americans because I don't know, but like they're trying to do this what they think is best for themselves, what they think is best for their families, and I think everyone can respect that.
Everyone's situation is different, and so I feel like it's just really hard to like obviously like, you know, there has to be order to things in whatever, but it's just really hard to be like strict with this and like so just kind of like labeling it like that, because like people are really just trying to do like what's best for their family and themselves. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think an example is someone who crosses the border from somewhere else besides the United States into America. Potentially some people label them as illegal, and some people then say, well, no human is illegal, from responding to people who say that. Is that where this comes from?
Our responses, yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're both on strongly agree for the no human is illegal? Are you saying they're not... You could say they're potentially not a citizen of the United States, but they're not...
You could totally say they're not a citizen.
Yeah, being a
that's
citizen
different.
It's fine.
But illegal,
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's just like too far. I feel
like people break the law all the time. Like them crossing the borders
We're on a
lawfully or
college
whatever.
campus.
Yeah,
There
lawfully.
are many ways that people break the law on a college campus.
Exactly. And it's like it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean that they don't have a right to go to school. It doesn't mean that they don't have a right to get access to education.
And oftentimes there are bad laws. There have been bad laws throughout all of history. So,
Laws change for the better.
Yeah.
People change for the better.
and
I
hopefully
think.
laws will change so that like this isn't as much of an
I
issue
think our
in the
immigration
future.
system should change
Yeah.
for the better, so that more people can have
So it's like,
access, so they won't be labeled
Yeah.
as illegal.
yeah.
So what is the main reason we're thinking to be on this line right now?
I feel like personally, I've just heard a lot of experiences from like individuals, and I think when you look at people as an individual instead of as like a group that's separate from you, you can gain a lot more empathy, and you know, I feel like it's really important just to like try to picture yourself in that situation and what you would do, because it's not easy, and like you really should not shame people for, you know, doing what's best for them and themselves and their families. So yeah.
Okay. What I think I'm hearing you say is, if someone wanted to come into the United States without going through some kind of immigration process, we shouldn't shame them for doing that because of their situation.
I mean, no one wants to, everyone would love to go through the immigration process if it was an easy immigration process. That's like, but we make it way too hard. So I think that's a complicated question. I don't think that that's exactly what I mean, though. I think that's like a generalization without like, you know, but yeah, you know,
I think it's like this country like says it's a melting pot for people, but if we're talking about how easy it is to actually immigrate here lawfully, it's like the people who come here for school, it's the people who come here for jobs, it's usually people who educated and already can get like access to this legal immigration stuff. But when we talk about like the people who immigrate here like illegally, I guess, like those people don't have access to like even figure out how to immigrate here lawfully. These people don't have access to like the money to like go through plane and like get a visa and that kind of stuff. These people like leave because their situation is already bad and they think that the US is the best place where they can find a new path, find new opportunities.
the process really just takes too long.
Yeah.
Like if you're coming to the border like for asylum, like I just saw like Beto O'Rourke on like, I was like at a taping for Jimmy Kimmel, and he was talking about, I think he said it took like 6 years like to process an asylum like thing on average, and so people are just waiting at the border for that to happen. And like, I don't know, it's just like if we could speed up that process, it would just be so much better. And like if we could just expand the amount of like, I know like that like people say like we can't let everyone in, but like then if at least if we could speed up the process and like someone didn't get that like acceptance like on like coming in, they would know within like a shorter amount of time. And like, yeah, so anyway, but yeah.
Is the immigration process pretty much illegitimate because of its inefficiency? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think it's illegit. I think you can have reforms to make it better. It's not like my parents are immigrants. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just that it works for the people who come to the U.S. to like get education, to get jobs, who already like are educated people to begin with, not for the people who like, you know, like the U.S. is like a place for new beginnings, right? Like it's a melting pot for places where you could like be like the first generation to go to school, or like live a white picket fence kind of house, like that kind of stuff. And like, but when you don't even have access to that in the first place, and when you're labeled illegal, when you have to live your life in fear because you're afraid of being deported or like, you know, being like separated from your family and that kind of stuff, like that isn't fair. It's like yes, people immigrate here illegally and yes, they're successful, but it doesn't mean that people who like don't have the opportunity to do that shouldn't have the chance.
I would just always choose the side of like humanity and like then critique the law from there, not critique humanity based off of the law.
Maybe the reason is illegal immigration is humane.
Yeah, I mean, not all illegal that's like, I feel like I wouldn't call it illegal immigration. There are different names for like what, like for what you're talking about. So like there are definitely different types of like people who are immigrating over. So I feel like again, it's just it's a generalized question and a really specific topic. And I mean, I know far from everything, but yeah, I would just say like honestly, like siding with humanity. Like I do think like we should try to be the most humane country we can.
I think this country has a us versus them mindset.
Yes.
Where it's like we think that we are all Americans, and anyone who, you know, isn't what we think American is, aren't like, I guess, don't belong here. And I think you really see it nowadays, like especially with like everything that's happened on the news. Like the news nowadays, like left or right, it all like tells the same story just in different ways. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I think when you, oh, she got her free stuff. But when you like, I lost my train of thought. Okay.
Well,
So what would it have? What would it mean? What would need to be true in order for it to be in order for someone to say that someone is illegal, that a human can be illegal?
I really don't think there's any type of situation where a human themselves is illegal.
I don't know. I think like people are always trying to like argue why like we shouldn't have like why like illegal immigration is bad or whatever, but like they're like, oh, they're using our tax money. I'm like, well, then make reforms to make the rich pay their taxes instead of trying to letting them do loopholes all the time. Like, stop trying to like hurt the people who need it the most. Instead, focus on the way like our government needs to actually take like action to the people who like are benefiting the most from capitalism and like having monopolies for like different companies and like make them pay their taxes. Like, I'm sure like.
It's
I want
people say
coffee.
life's not fair, like they don't get to be in our country, like, you know.
Yeah.
But like life's not fair in that sense too. Like it's just it's so complicated, and like people are just so like us versus them mindset. And I think we really need to be thinking like, though I just think the word human is like key here. Like we need to be thinking about the fact that we're all humans. So yeah.
Gotcha. So you wrote down a few reasons, Dolly. Did you capture one?
Do any of these sound right to you?
So immigration is too hard. Living in fear is unfair, unhumane, and us versus them is bad for society.
Yeah, all of those.
Sounds legit.
Those are your reasons.
Yes.
I'll put those
All right.
up.
Thanks.
Cool. We can wrap it up here. Thank you, guys.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
What's your YouTube channel?
Cordial curiosity.
There's so many free things.
Okay, let's go. We're going.
It's so free stuff. And it's like full size too.
No way.
All right. Thank you.
Yes! Wait, try your Google. I think I need it.
All right. I think they wanted to go. They were done.
That's all good.
Yeah, I was.
Hearing somebody out is useful just by itself.
Yeah, I was trying to find their reason.
It was a little difficult to come down to the same thing because it was a storytell, and not to say that was not communicating, but it wasn't summarizing.
Yeah.